A parishioner said to a clergyman, "Do you ever get down?" And the clergyman says, "I do." And the parishioner inquired from the clergyman, "What do you do about it?" "Well, I get up again," he said. Uh, Being down isn't my problem. Staying down is. I think that's a fair way to look at mental health, which for me is all about how we feel, how we think, and how we cope with ups and downs. And life is punctuated with ups and downs. Nobody's life runs just like a straight line. One day can be happy and bright and full of fun, and the next day can be the complete opposite. But then, if every day was sunny, you would get used to it. It takes a rainy day to help you appreciate what sunshine and happiness is all about. So that mix is healthy. But sometimes we strive for perfection, don't we? And we're never going to achieve it because there's room for improvement in all of us. So here's what I think we need to do. We need to stop and pull the handbrake on and say to ourselves, I'm not all that I should be, but I'm better than I used to be. That's a recipe for hope, I think, at the start of every day. There's a story in the New Testament, and there's a couple of guys, and one of them's called Cleopas, and the crucifixion has just taken place, and these guys are making their way out of Jerusalem and going towards the village of Emmaus, and their chins are trailing the ground because the guy that put all their trust in, he's behind a big stone lying dead in a tomb. So they're not a bit pleased, and it's as if all the clouds have gathered around them. And then they find they're joined by somebody. A guy visiting Jerusalem and doing that same walk, when he comes back home, he's talking in St Giles Cathedral in Edinburgh, and here's what he says. As my friend and I walked along the road to Emmaus, just like Cleopas and his friends all those years earlier, we too felt we were joined by a third presence. And then he said this, I tell you the truth, whoever the wayfarer and wherever the way, there is always this third presence ready to emerge from the shadows and fall into step along the dusty, stony path of life. Do you know, for me, that's like a harbour to steer towards when the seas get choppy, and the seas do get choppy. But it's nice to know that if you fall out of God's right hand, he's there to catch you with his left. And something else. I think we should make a big effort to look up and not down, to look out and not in, to look forward and not back. All the time remembering that success, whatever success is, it's never final. And failure, however we define that, it's never fatal. What we need is the courage to pick up the pieces and to move forward, all the time fixing our eyes towards the sun and keeping our feet moving forward. That wouldn't be a bad recipe to build into every day. And if we were to do that, you know something, I think we have the chance of winning.